Hello, fellow educators. In this video, I'm going to be showing you how to make a differentiated quiz using Google Forms. Now, if you've watched my previous video, I showed you how to create a differentiated activity in which you use the go to section based on response. And if you want a review of that, you can go watch the video. So I was getting ready to do this activity and I was trying to think of how can I assess this because I don't want to collect 3 different worksheets and then grade 3 different worksheets with all my students. That just sounds like pain. So what I tried or what I decided to do was to create a Google form that would do it for me. So let me show you how I did it. So the first thing you want to do when you're creating this differentiated quiz is come up here to the little gear and you want to turn on the quizzes. So I'm going to do quizzes, make this a quiz. And what it'll do is it will then have Google Forms grade whatever you are doing. So you can do some other changes here. I don't want them to see the correct answers. I just want them to see the missed questions because then I could talk about how to fix it later. So I'm going to save that and it's ready to go. So if you notice now there's an answer key option, there's all kinds of other stuff. Now before I start asking questions for the different reviews, and what I'm going to do is ask them questions about their specific worksheet. I'm going to ask them a question of what worksheet did you do? That's how I'm going to start. And there were 3 different ones. There was purple, there was red, and there was blue. So I'm going to start by asking that. What worksheet did you do? Now, since I had 3 different worksheets, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create 3 different sections. So I'm going to come over here. I'm going to add 1, 2, 3. I'm going to add 3 sections and I'm going to title each of them. So I'm going to title the first one purple worksheet. I'll title the next one red worksheet. And the last one is blue worksheet. I've titled each of them. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the special feature. I'm going to click these 3 dots and go to section based on answer. I'm going to click that. And so what this feature does is it tells the students where they're going to go. So I'm going to go to purple and you notice here section 2, purple worksheet. Red is going to go to the red worksheet and blue is going to go to the blue worksheet. And I'm going to make this a required question because if the students don't do this, then what form are they going to work on? So make this required. And for the answer key, I'm going to leave it 0 because I don't care what points they get on this. I just want them to answer. This is going to take them to their different sections. Next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to each of my sections, and you see this option right here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make it say submit form, because I only want my student in the purple worksheet to do the questions from the purple worksheet. Red, I only want them to do the red, so I'm going to hit submit form. If you don't hit that button, what it's going to do, it's going to take the purple student through all 3 sections. It'll take the red student through just the last 2 sections and so on, and that's going to mess things up. Now that I've got it all set, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start adding questions. And since this is a worksheet review, all I'm going to say is answer to question number 3. Something like that. So I have my answer keys ready to go. I'm not going to post those on YouTube because I'm going to be using those. So I have answered to question 3. I'm going to make this a short answer. And since this is for math, it's pretty easy. I just want the numbers. For mine, it's just going to be solving equations. That's what I'm using this for. And so I want them to type in the number they get. So I'm going to make sure to put in a prompt. So type in solution to the equation. Type in the x equals. Something like that. And so after that, I'm going to do my answer key. I'm going to type in the correct answer. Let's say it's 1, 2, 3. And I'm going to assign my point value. So since this is the little check I'm going to do, I want this to be 1 point. So I typically like to do 5 questions from a worksheet, and I just ask the student what's the answer. I don't give them long to do this because they should have done it the night before. This is just a quick homework check. All I want them to do is type in their 5 answers, hit submit. And the big thing I'm going to do is make sure that every question is required because I want them to do it all. Now, there is a caveat to this. So if I'm doing 3 worksheets with 5 questions each, that means I have 15 points. And Google is going to grade it out of 15 points. So the big thing you're going to have to tell your students, if they do this, do it this way, and they get 4 out of 15, tell them not to panic. their score is actually a 4 out of 5. So that is something for you to note. If they're only doing one section of the quiz, Google Forms will automatically mark the other ones as zeros. It won't give them credit for it. So be aware of that when you do this, but it's a really easy way for you to get a quick check. It tells you how your students are doing. If you know each one is at a 5 and you're seeing a lot of 4s, 5s, you're doing pretty good. But then you know the 2s and 3s are where things are going to be the issue. And you're also going to know which worksheet they worked on. So if you see in the beginning a student answered purple and they're only getting one question right, that means you need to go do some serious intervention. If you want more information about how I use purple, red, blue, you can go back to that video. So that's an easy way for you to do a homework check when you have differentiated assignments. This is going to save you time in the long run and help you gather some quick data. Best of luck.